Hi there, I'm Lisa Fox. I am just recording this to say a little bit about Sinead Fine and the work that I've done with her. Sinead has read my tarot on a number of occasions. And I first came to her about a year and a half ago. For me, very, very unsure times, but I think I had that in common with the rest of the world because it was, sort of, I think towards the beginning of the pandemic, I had a performance art school for children and I was pivoting my business, desperately trying to pivot my business. And I had an opportunity to work. I had received a grant, a government grant to help me in my business. And I had two mentors who were calling me, who I could have worked with this grant. And I just could not make a decision between the two. And I had been interested in Sinead's work, she was on my radar. So I said, I'm just going to reach out to her and see if how much it costs to do a reading. Maybe I could do a reading with her and see if it gave me any clarity. And oh my God, I'm so happy I did that because I reached out to her, just paid for the reading through a link. It was so seamless. It was actually, do you know what was really great about it was just so easy to do that. It was like, I want to do a reading. What can I do? Here's the link. Paid her, asked my question, and she sent me a voice recording of my answer and some beautiful pictures of the spread of the tarot cards that she was reading from. And I've had my tarot read in the past in person. I wondered, would there be anything missing in the sort of online reading? But actually, in a way, it was even better. It was more intimate. There was more space in between. So there was a bit of interaction and there was a little bit more time for me to contemplate my questions and really get the most out of the reading. But more than that, Sinead's answers and her energy and the way in which she reads the cards is so clear. It's so detailed. It's so connected. You really actually feel like, for me, what blew me away that first reading was that I felt like she knew me, which was impossible. I felt like she absolutely felt like she was picking up so much intuitively from what I had said to her, and just she seemed to know things about me that she couldn't have known. Um, and she just has this beautiful, attentive, gentle energy that makes you feel really seen and heard. Um, and my question to her at the time was, which mentor should I go with? And she didn't tell me which mentor to go with. She said, if you go with this mentor, this is what could happen. And if you go with this mentor, this is what could happen. And she told me what her instinct was. She said, I feel like you probably are more attracted to this mentor. And she was right. And I went with the right mentor. And how do I know that I went with the right mentor? Because going with that mentor, actually, this particular mentor helped me in my business. So at the time I pivoted my existing business online. It was performance arts, but then this mentor that I worked with helped me to see that actually there was something bigger for me. And I then pivoted my business completely and started working with a different niche and in a different way. And I started a brand new business last February. And within 3 months, I was making 10K months. And it was absolutely down to this mentor, but it was down to having that clarity around the decision of the right mentor. I couldn't have had that clarity without the reading from Sinead and the clarity that she brought me. And it's funny, since that first reading, I've used Sinead and her readings several times in crucial moments where I've just needed that little bit of guidance, where I had a question or something that I just wasn't clear on, and where I just couldn't make a decision or felt I couldn't make a decision. And again, it was Sinead and the way that she reads the cards and lays it out for you and says, well, there's no right or wrong answer, but if you go this way, this will happen. If you go that way, that will happen. And what really blew my mind, and I'm going to leave you with this, what really blew my mind was my most recent reading that I had with Sinead. I asked her about something really important. And she said, she told me when she was going to answer me, but she said, in the meantime, I want you to go back and listen to my previous answer to your previous question that I had done a couple of months before that. Because I feel like part of the answer is in there. And she couldn't even really remember what it was even about, but she just had this instinct that it was partially answered already. But what blew my mind when I went back and listened to the answer that she had given me on the previous question, and again, it was typical Sinead style. It was like, if you go this way, this is what might happen. If you go that way, that's what will probably happen. And I had gone this way, and everything that she had said would happen had happened as a result of me going the way that I chose to go. And I just was like, oh my God, I knew she was good. I knew she was good. But I did not fully realize just how good she was. And I mean, I've always recommended Sinead. I have always raved about her. But since that particular instance, I'm like, I go around like anybody who talks about tarot at all, I'm like, you need to know about Sinead Fine. I have had my tarot read so many times over the years, and I've never had an experience like this. It is to the letter. Like, I couldn't, I actually can't quite put into words the empowerment that comes along with the way that Sinead actually reads the cards. She does it in such a way as to really empower you with the options, and the choices of what way you want to go in your life. And you know, everything that happens is a result of the choices that you make, but it's having that confidence to make those decisions that it's really given me. And really, I'm only ever following my own instincts. And I'm only ever, like, when Sinead advises me based on what the cards are saying, I always realize afterwards that her advice is what is already resonating for me, but it's that little bit of extra self-trust that I just needed, that backup, and it has never failed so far. So thank you so much, Sinead. And you really have changed my life, and I would recommend you to anybody who is thinking about working with you. So, huge love.